Hello everyone, welcome to the 12th Canadian Science Policy Conference, CSPC 2020. My name is Titilope, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with the Vice President of Research at International at Carleton University, Dr. Rafik Goubran. Dr. Rafik Goubran, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited to have you here.
Thank you, it's my pleasure, and good morning everyone.
Yes. So I'll just start off with, the big elephant in the room, which is 2020 and COVID-19. So we all know that this year has been an unprecedented year for so many people and the entire scientific community at large. Academic institutions have also been affected with having to figure out how to prepare for remote academic delivery while still promoting academic research activities that are so essential in this time to help the country really alleviate some of the impacts of the pandemic. So I'm curious to know, how was Carleton able to quickly adapt to support their research activities in light of recent happenings?
Yeah, so first, definitely this year has been unprecedented. But at Carleton, I was very impressed by the way our researchers handled the situation. So they were very innovative in adapting their research programs to cope with the new conditions. Also, our research partners, including the tri-agencies, governments, and industry, were very flexible in adjusting the scope of the work and extending deadlines to accommodate the COVID pandemic. Also, our ITS team at Carleton has been very effective in providing resources such as connectivity, equipment, software, tech support to help our researchers cope with the new conditions. Having said that, some research requires access to facilities and equipment, so we came up with a clear protocol for on-campus research. Obviously, that's in line with all of the federal, provincial, and municipal guidelines, and that meets all of the public safety requirements.
Thank you. That's great to hear. It sounds like it was a real team effort with lots of different factors coming in and really getting things together when they needed to be. So just following up on that, like, we know that Carleton has long been known as a university that promotes research excellence and enjoys partnerships around the globe. In light of recent events, and with Carleton being able to adapt so quickly to the pandemic, how can academic institutions position themselves to drive innovation that will support socioeconomic development in Canada?
Okay, so certainly the COVID crisis has pushed us all to think outside the box and think about how to adapt our expertise to come up with novel solutions to support our society. So at Carleton, we have a lot of expertise in areas related to wellness, mental health, business and economic, social adaptation, e-health, telecommunications, artificial intelligence, and we've tried to encourage researchers who work on those areas to adapt and to come up with research programs that help alleviate the problems that came due to COVID. So we also work very closely with our research partners to solve real-world problems. And we've decided then, as soon as the COVID crisis started, to invest over $800,000 to provide seed funding to 60 teams of researchers to deal with the COVID crisis. So we did fund 60 projects. And these projects range from the area of wellness, to mental health, to business and economic concerns, to social adaptation, to epidemiology, e-health and remote patient monitoring, artificial intelligence. And throughout those research projects, also, we had to look at the impact on the indigenous people and on international communities.
Wow, that's really amazing. It's great to hear that, Carleton, it sounds like Carleton really prioritized lots of different factors and communities within the institution. So, one of your responsibilities as the Vice President of Research and International is to provide strategic direction for Carleton's international research activities. What role do you see international collaboration and research partnership playing in advancing academic research activities?
Yeah, so obviously, travel restrictions has impacted some of those projects in terms of people physically traveling somewhere. However, online systems and virtual collaboration has been very effective in pursuing those activities. And sometimes the use of innovative approaches and innovative technology related to multimedia, virtual reality, augmented reality helped us continue those collaborations. So we have to continue our external research collaboration, and there are definitely ways to achieve those objectives without the physical travel for the time being. So international research has been a part of our DNA. We've been doing international research for years, and we plan to continue. It plays a very important role to have researchers from throughout the world interacting with each other and sharing their knowledge and working collaboratively on those projects.
That's amazing. So in recent years, we have seen the role of science and evidence-based decision in policy making. And more recently, we've seen the importance of science in navigating Canada through the COVID-19 pandemic. We've also seen in some cases the impact of misinformation getting into the hands of the public. How do you think that the trust in the scientific community and effective science communication to the public has evolved in light of recent events? And what impacts do you think this will have on the academic research activity?
Well, I think it will have a positive impact because I've always believed that evidence-based decision-making is vital in all disciplines. And in fact, like solid scientific and engineering principles should always inform policy making. And certainly the public expects that because misinformation can lead to wrong decisions and are not the best way of achieving the objectives. So I firmly believe that evidence-based, solid science, undisputed science should be the main criterion to inform policy making.
Thank you so much. So like I mentioned earlier, this year, in light of the pandemic, we're having the CSPC 2020 conference virtually this year. Now, this is going to be a new experience for many, and it's also going to be an opportunity for us to reach, and all our panelists to reach a wider audience than ever before. So I'm curious to know what you're looking forward to for the conference this year.
Yeah, so I usually attend a lot of conferences every year. So this year I've attended several virtual conferences, and I was actually very impressed by how beneficial these conferences were. So in addition to reaching a wider audience, then the use of multimedia and flexibility to move from one session to the other and other online tools that the conferences have provided made the conferences actually a lot more effective than I thought. Well, it's missing some personal interactions, but again, one can achieve at least partially this through the various online system and virtual systems. So I look forward to this conference, especially the multidisciplinary aspect of the discussions, because again, having people from various backgrounds having debates and discussions as to what is the best way of handling a specific issue is extremely valuable. So I'm looking forward to seeing how science and engineering can better inform policy making. As I said, policies should always be made based on strong, undisputed scientific evidence. So I look forward to attending the conference and enjoying the multidisciplinary discussions that will take place.